Hello, Taurus, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of September 7th through the 13th. And during that time, we'll have a full moon that comes in on the 8th. So you might feel that energy 7th, 8th, 9th, around that area. I usually feel that full moon energy for a few days there. And that can be a time when you feel, like heightened emotions. You can sometimes feel a little overwhelmed and anxious, maybe sleepy. I'm sorry, snappy and irritable, not sleepy. I'm just the opposite. I can't sleep on a full moon. I'm like wide awake. So just heightened energy, So if you need to practice meditation and calm, if it's too much for you, or if you use that energy, I find that that's the times when I'm maybe up and maybe having a good time with friends and family, however you use that energy. Anyway, we then move into, of course, the waning gibbous, which calms down a little, a little calmer, good time for self-reflection, time for rebirth, and just a good time to make positive changes and kind of work on ourselves a little bit. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Taurus. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is work through your fears. All right, let's see what the Taurus Collective has going on. As I'm shuffling, I would like to say that since my readings are free to you, all that I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel, which I appreciate. Of course, it's super easy for you to do. Just remember, you do need to be logged into YouTube or Google to do that. So I'll give you just a moment while I'm shuffling to do that right now. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you for coming back and helping me build a community here. I really do appreciate that. And my weekly reminder this week is that you take time to meditate. Go within, still your mind and your body, even if it's just for a little bit of time, as much as you can give it, and just go in there and explore a little bit. See what happens while you're meditating. You might want to take notes on things that do happen. And if it's something you normally do, then you know what I'm saying. But if it's not something you do all the time, try to work it into your normal routine. If not every day, at least every other day. So just my weekly reminder, Taurus, is that you try to work on your meditation skills. All right, without further ado, let's get into this reading. Taurus, September 7th through the 13th. Work through your fears. All right, your overall present energy right now is the Death card. So you might be working on some sort of ending. And of course, that would bring up fears because, yeah, endings are scary. They bring new beginnings with them, but just kind of depending on what you're going through. And this, for some of you, this could be some actual death that has happened around you, that you're just having to manage and deal with. And of course, that would bring on fears too. But it is some sort of ending. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a physical death, but just the end of something, the end of a road, and it's the start of a new one. Your current situation is the King of Cups. So it looks like you're, at least, even though you're fearful, you do definitely have an emotional balance about yourself and the skill set to kind of manage and deal with this. So put that to use and just deal with things. That's what you're going to have to do. At the root of this situation is the Two of Cups. So this could be some ending of a friendship or an ending of, again, it could be an actual death, where you're losing someone that is close to you, either through death or just through some situation that happens that you're just parting ways, and it's the end of something, the end of some sort of partnership. This could be anything. This could be the end of a business partnership, the end of a friendship, the end of a relationship. Just parting ways of some manner here, some ending that's coming up for you. In your recent past is a judgment. So this could be a decision that has come up. You had some sort of new awareness where maybe you just decided to act something. This could be the ending of a job. This could be, leaving one job, moving on to another. Of course, again, with every ending comes a new beginning. But yeah, there's something having to do here with something of coming together of you and another person. Again, it could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a friendship on your mind this week. is, yeah, trying to be hard at work. And maybe even as a distraction that you might want to put your head down, like, I'm not even going to think about this. I'm just going to buckle down and let work happen and deal with things that way, which is fine. That's a way to deal with it. Um, Again, you're going to work through fears of moving on. And this could be work related. Again, like I said, this could just be that, some sort of either business relationship or a work relationship. But there's been something has happened to kind of change your perspective and make you want to put an end to something here. What is just ahead of you this week is truth with the justice card. Interesting how judgment and justice often appear together in a tarot reading. Um, where you just want the truth. You want the truth to come out. You want to, and it looks like you're moving towards that this week. But you've made a decision. You've made a decision based on this judgment here. In your advice position is the Eight of Swords. So, when it comes to this card, this is a card of thinking your way out of something. How did you allow yourself, and I'm feeling this, that how did you even allow yourself to get in this situation? You're, of course, hindsight is 2020. You're looking back and thinking, oh, I shouldn't have done this, that, and the other, because now here I am in this situation, and but it's okay. It's okay. Think your way out of it. It's not the end of the world, and it's things like this are presented to us as learning situations. We're all here learning, and until, you know, sometimes I see people that are just presented, and it happens to me too. It's happened to all of us, where you're just kind of presented with the thing over and over and over. And you're like, why does this keep happening? Well, it keeps happening because you're not learning the lesson and you're allowing it to happen to you. So, I kind of get that feeling with this that, is this going to be your final, are you finally going to learn your lesson here? Has this happened before? Do you keep getting into this situation and it's like, okay, repeating again? So work through your fears of whatever it is to at least recognize, what this is, and so that you don't get back into it yet again. So let's see here. Anything I'm missing? I think we've got two eights on the table. So 88. Okay. Yeah. So maybe look up angel number 88. Okay, let's keep going here. What is beyond your control this week is, yeah, a new beginning, because that's what I said with the death card, with an ending. I wouldn't be surprised to see some tens pop out here too, but with an ending is always a new beginning. And here you are fresh again. Just make sure, here you are standing on the precipice, like, well, there we go again, taking that new step. And what does everyone say about the fool? It's like, is that dog warning you about what you're stepping into that you're not even quite aware of? And this is where, you have to learn from your past, so that as you move on to the new beginnings, that you're bringing some of those lessons with you, those lessons learned, so that you just make better choices in the future. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Five of Cups. So of course, I'm sure you're trying to avoid grief and sadness, and that's maybe some of the working through your fears, is that, the situation seems to be sad. It's been a judgment, it's been the end of something, and it's been truth ahead of you. Does it have to do with your work? Maybe, but it definitely with another person. There could be some sort of betrayal, something in that. And of course, you're going to feel sad about it, because that's sad. If someone lies to you, or you catch somebody in a lie, or it doesn't feel good. So I understand why you're feeling that way, and of course, you want to avoid that. But you're just going to kind of work through it, get through it, and move on, because it's beyond your control to have this new journey happen for you. In your outcome position is the Six of Cups. So interesting. So the outcome is, maybe you've overlooked something in your past, and this could, a lot of times the Six of Cup is kind of just about enjoying the moment, but many times it is about, looking back on your past, or even a person from your past, a person from your, childhood, young adulthood. Is there someone that you've overlooked, that was in your past, that you maybe need to take another look at? Did you misjudge something from there? Because this is maybe, and your outcome is to go back to that person and maybe apologize if this had something to do with, I'm just getting that there may be some apology, or kind of a, like again, you're going to take another look at something that was in your past that maybe you didn't have all the answers on, and now you do, and you've kind of just changed your mind as these truths start to come out for you. Does that make sense? It'll make sense to some of you, I guarantee it. All right, hidden from you this week is the devil, which is great. I like it when he's hidden. So these things that are coming out are not false truths. It's not the devil messing with you. These are actual things that you're learning. It's actual judgments, it's actual endings, it's actual, so it's not the devil messing with you. This seems to be pretty clear, cut and dried about whatever the situation is. And of course it'll be different for different different people that fall under the sign of Taurus. So for some of you it'll be a work situation, for some of you it'll be a relationship, for some of you it'll be a friendship, so it doesn't tarot's a template, so it templates over lots of different types of situations where this just seems to be some sort of reckoning this week. Okay, the card that comes out for you from the Soul Oracle deck: accept disappointments gracefully. So yeah, that's here. You're going to be disappointed. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do. What's done is done. The judgments happen, the truth has come out, and there's nothing that you can really do. All right, what you can do is take care of yourself this week. Let's look in the self-care wisdom deck and see what that has to say for Taurus. What sort of self-care as they come to this reckoning? And the card that comes up for you: risk. Take a chance. Every risk is a success when you're committed to learning and growth. Take a chance. That's your full card here. Every risk is a success when you're committed to learning and growth. So yeah, you can't just take your toys and go home. I'm done. You live, you learn, you get through it. And again, I just feel like this is important. There's something I think you need to maybe take a look at again. It's almost like something you missed or something that came to light that's there. And just enjoy the new journey. You're going to have to take a new risk and learn. You're disappointed, of course, but you're going to take these things, move on, and hopefully not get involved in the same type of situation on your new journey, and where you will, I guarantee you, have something new and different to learn, because that's what life is. So Taurus, thank you so much for being here with me today. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know if this resonated on some level, maybe what you're going through, maybe what sort of ending, what sort of judgment and truth that you've come to. You might compare notes with other Tauruses in the comments also. So I love to get that sort of feedback. Also, I do post weekly readings, so come back next week and we'll see if this situation continues or if there's a completely new energy here for you. If you like my reading style and you hit that like and subscribe button, of course, it will help you find me next week, and that's the most important thing for me. So thanks so much, Taurus, and good luck with this. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.